Yo, bro, that was a test. That was a test. Oh, dude. Tofu. I was testing you, bro. Hell yeah, dude. Now that we know you're awake. In the words of a top YouTuber, wake up! Time to wake up. How are you doing, Tofu? Did you happen to watch the presidential debate tonight? I don't even know how loud the music is. Is that too loud? Tonight I'm chilling. I watched the debate tonight, and actually, it was actually really good. Face it, all right. How did you do? How was the competition? I feel like this music's super loud in my ears. I don't even need it that loud, bro. I cannot even hear. Alright, but finally, alright. It's out of 10, right? Or what is it out of? Nice. It's good, though. It's good. Yeah. 10 being the highest, yeah. Well, tonight, vice presidential debate was actually pretty good. Yeah. I don't know if you have a chance to talk to me yet about it, but JD Vance did really well. And the overall tone of the debate was way more civil compared to Kamala and Trump, dude. It was actually, you know, in a certain sense it was boring, you could say, but it was like boring it was like refreshingly boring. And to the like you tell these like serious people, dude, JD Vance, dude, he's really, Trump knew what he was doing when he picked him. JD Vance is like the perfect counterbalance to Trump. That's the only way I could say, and he knew what he was doing to get that balance. Yeah, JD Vance was really a good choice for Trump. And just to think about the future for Republican Party, yeah, I think JD has some real promise. Yeah. Yup. Dude, definitely the GOAT, bro. Definitely the GOAT. Dude, even CNN was like talking about how good he did. It's like undeniable, like how well he presented himself. And I think it caught everyone off guard again, you know, in a good way though, because of how civil and how like he's just, I don't know, it's like kind but all still firm. You know what I mean? Like and the way he kind of even I was surprised by Tim Walz too. Like I never really seen him talk or any before, just kind of like the crazy clips you see online. But even Tim Walz like didn't do bad. He just didn't do great, you know, like. And it just, even with the moderators kind of like trying to frame the debate in certain ways, like they were trying to like frame the exchange by posing questions back and forth, like, okay, you know, the governor said this, what do you say, senator, like what is your answer to this particular question? And it would be kind of like diverting from what, you know, Walz actually said. They're trying to set JD Vance up to go down a particular route, and I think JD Vance did a really good job of like addressing the question they were putting to him, but then still responding to whatever Tim Walz was bringing up. So yeah, he handled it so masterfully without being too combative, you know. And the one time that he was combative, it was wholly justified. Like I was even reading responses and stuff like that. They tried to move him on from something that was factual lie about Haitian migrants and their immigration status, and in the beginning of the debate, the moderators had said that they wouldn't fact check either of the two candidates, but then they ended up fact checking anyway. And JD Vance calls him out. He says, well, hey, you know, you guys said at the beginning of the debate you wouldn't fact check me on this or fact check anybody, and you did anyway, and then you got it wrong, basically. And so this is what it was. And so they let him talk for a moment because he realized it was a perfect gotcha, so they had to wait for a moment. So they gave him like 20 seconds, and then they started trying to cut him off when he was like totally dismantling what they were saying and proving them to be liars, you know, and showing how this the Haitian immigration policy was basically a mistake of Kamala Harris. Because of the way she fast-tracked them in, and how you can't compare Haitian migrants to, or the way the Haitian migrants came in, you can't compare them to a typical green card holder, because a typical green card holder could be up to like 10 years, he was saying. For them, you know, they actually wait in the line. There's actually like a process for that, right? Well, the Haitian migrants that were fled into the country didn't follow that same thing. They were like, you know, again, moved to the very front of the line immediately. They were immediately given this kind of asylum or whatever. Which is, yeah. Anyway, so he was calling him out on that, and how basically that thing that that policy or that pass that she was giving to these Haitian migrants was like actually not illegal. She didn't do that legally. She kind of exceeded her authority, something to that effect. But I don't know too much about it. I wouldn't be able to debate it or anything like that. But it was just neat that he kind of stood up to him, and it was totally justified. But he didn't go too crazy with anything. Yeah, and the thing, like, that dude's only 40 years old, and he was just so professional. And it was actually pretty neat to see both Walls and JD Vance kind of like willing to say they agree on things together, you know. And I think it was good because when they, you know, I feel like a few times Walls kind of like overstated things and kind of, I don't know, just my opinion, kind of lied about some stuff. But nonetheless, like Vance was still willing to say, you know, these are these things that we have in common, but, you know, our candidates or our running mates, I should say, have totally different views and stuff like that. And, you know, they try to catch Vance on, you know, having some different views than Trump, and, you know, trying to find a contradiction there. But dude, JD was just so masterful in kind of like you could say toning down the rhetoric of Trump to make it meaningful, you know, to a wider audience. And I thought he did a really good job with that. So but yeah, I think I like JD Vance even more after that. But yeah, anyway. Whoop. Pulled up my own stream right now just to see what's going on. I'm gonna give myself a little Reiki. Give my own self a little Reiki. So tonight, I don't really have anything in particular planned to do. I just know, yeah, it definitely went well for him. And there's already gonna be a like. I think they both did a really good job about not talking over each other, and actually like respecting the kind of like 2-minute exchange and stuff like that. I would say overall they was so much better than before, and so because of that, I think there's gonna be a lot of good clips that you're gonna see online. In fact, there's already a bunch of good clips that you'll see on X, especially of JD Vance. But yeah. Dang, I forgot to hit record, so, and everything in the beginning. Yeah, so anyway, tonight, I just wanted to kind of see what other people were thinking about the debate, and also just chat about whatever. I don't know if I'll play any games tonight or anything like that. I've been lagging on editing some of the videos from the previous live stream. But played Monster Hunter last time, and that was pretty good. And I have a video ready to upload, but dude, I don't know, man. I got something wrong with me. Well, you see what what you're talking about, Tofu. This game called Omori. That's true, there is. Dude, what if I busted out Omori right now after yeah, I still remember where I am. I'm right there where the main character goes into the real world, I guess. One day. Maybe I should do it on the stream. I wonder if people would find that interesting. But yeah, when I was playing Monster Hunter the other day, I was like, dang, this is why I played this game so much and why I love that. Yeah, it's a good one. Like, mostly on this channel, like I play Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, right? But played Monster Hunter World a little bit on the channel. And I don't know if I took down the videos or not, but nobody watched them. And then on my own, I played some Rise and some on the 3DS. I played 4 Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and beat the main scenario in that. But Wilds looks really good. Can't wait to try that out pretty soon. But speaking of gaming news, like all the crazy stuff with there's like 3 major stories over this past weekend. The biggest one probably being, well, at least the one I focused on the most was the Dragon Quest III remake. They had the developer. Yeah, no, for real, Tofu. A lot of drama going on. Yeah, so basically the 3 main things was the Dragon Quest III controversy, kind of controversy with specifically with what with the Yuji Ori, the creator of Dragon Quest, and then the main editor for Shonen Jump. He's another famous dude. I forgot what his name was. Older Japanese creators, right? And they were talking about censorship in the West and how it's so stifling for their games and for their comics, manga, and also how it's becoming apparent that it's not even Square Enix's fault that they're kind of pushing kind of like you could say woke agendas and stuff like that. It's actually these rating like like age rating kind of like at the ESRB and the CERO or CERO, whatever, in the different countries, and it turns out that that's how the games are getting censored in these kind of weird ways, and so where back in like the 90s, I remember with Mortal Kombat, like it was a big deal in the news. They were talking about first putting game ratings on game packages in the first place, right? And I remember the controversy with that, and I think it was Joe Lieberman, but he might have also been for when they were trying to put a parental advisory on this music CDs and tapes and stuff like that as well. So I don't remember, but anyway, the parental advisory stuff, right? So fast forward to today, and it's coming out that I this is the kind of a thought I've been having with these kind of controversies, is that based on what even the 2 directors were saying, well, the game creator and the main major editor for Shonen Jump, they were complaining specifically about how the regulations just kind of get out of control, right? And how it's like a gaming from the West, or it's like Western markets that are kind of in control of this stuff, right? They're in control of the you could say censorship, or I'm going to say censorship, I guess, but they were saying more in the sense of ratings. And what did he say? It was I have the post somewhere, but they were talking about compliance. The god of compliance was what the editor of Shonen Jump was saying. And he's saying how like it's an evil god because in the name of doing something good, it does a great evil. And so that's a very strong way to put it, right? But in the name of trying to protect children, it actually ends up hurting society in the longer run. And so I've been thinking about that, and I've been thinking about how both the left and the right politically have both been responsible for their own kind of version of that, because what the Shonen Jump editor was kind of focusing on was So actually, maybe I should back up just a little bit. So the controversy with Dragon Quest 3 is that they had to put a little bit more, kind of like what they did to Tifa in Final Fantasy Rebirth and Remake. They added stuff to kind of like cover up her sexiness, I guess. Well, they did a similar thing to characters in the new Dragon Quest 3 remake, 3D remake, right? And so they're covering up one of the main characters who was like a provocatively dressed like warrior, female warrior, and they're giving her like an undershirt and like skin-colored pants or whatever to kind of go underneath her like warrior thong or whatever. So that was one thing. But then the other thing they're doing is that they're no longer calling like male or female characters anymore. They're saying body type 1, body type 2, or body type A, body type B. They're not referring to gender anymore. And so that was what Yuji Ori, the main creator of Dragon Quest, was talking about. Yeah. And then so I kind of saw how this is my interpretation of their little dialogue, was that and what they were sharing was that basically from the Japanese point of view, whether it's the right censoring or whether it's the left censoring, it seems to be compliance. They're looking at it like non-politically, I guess. And they're noticing that there's some Puritan values that come from our religious understanding, our religious concepts, right, in the West, which is kind of like, I guess, our Christian background, right? Like, we don't want to expose children to sexuality too young of an age. So that's kind of some of the reasons why there's ratings or whatever, I guess, is what this particular Japanese dude was saying. Even though, honestly, the ones who pushed the ratings the most, it was kind of like a bipartisan in the 90s, but I think it was mostly the Democrats that were doing it. But anyway, I could be wrong about that. But fast forward to today, and then Yuji Ori was talking about how today, like, you can't even say male or female. He's like who even had a problem with that in the first place, But as I was seeing it from their perspective, from like an outsider to America perspective, I was thinking like, oh, maybe they just see it as compliance in a whole, and then what could I learn from this just to kind of have a better understanding myself. And I was noticing that, and this is probably like going to sound like a conspiracy theory just a little bit, but I feel like the reason why there's so much woke culture that's able to grab a hold of society so strongly is because it sneaks in with basic morals that we already had in place from being a Christian society, or from being a Western Christian society. Now, maybe not everybody's Christian, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but the morals come from a Christian perspective, right? So I was thinking, like, but from Japan, they don't have a Christian perspective, so they just see it as compliance, right? And it just depends on who's in power, and then the compliance, whoever's enforcing the compliance is like is going to shift, right? But I think nowadays what we're seeing is that the left has hijacked the more like Christian morals, and that's why they're saying, for instance, oh, your characters are too sexy. We need to make them slightly more, less sexy or whatever. That's kind of been a controversy, how some female characters actually get designed to be quote unquote uglier than they otherwise would have been in the past. So cover them up and kind of lessen the sexuality. Well, while that might have like a kind of a Christian moral understanding in the beginning, the way the left kind of spins it is, well, actually we want to get rid of femininity, and so we want to reduce the difference between male and female. So we're gonna make the sexual urge of these characters, the sexual allure, I guess you could say, we're gonna lessen that, but not in the name of morality or of Christian morality. We're gonna do it in the name of a progressive morality where the sexes are supposed to be the same. You see what I'm trying to say? And so so that's part of it, right? And so the Christians, really, the Christian morals, they'll be like, okay, well, we agree that you should be censoring this stuff, but why do you go so far as to try to reduce gender or get rid of gender by saying type 1, type 2 gender, right, in a video game? And then the left will just say, well, we gave you what you want by saying here's less sexuality, right? Now give us what we want, and then that'll be a compromise that we're both making. So you give a little, I give a little. But you see how really, because the little that they gave, actually they flipped it into the service of their own ideology, it actually isn't to the benefit of the Christian ideology, if you want to call it that, or conservative ideology. They've hijacked both of them, and they're only making it seem like they're balanced, right? So I think because of that, that deviousness is like what's given it such a foothold and such a power, you know, because in a certain sense, the left's approach to this kind of thing, and it's kind of like neutered the right's like anything the right would add or try to say anyway, because they kind of hijacked it, you know. So it's like, what am I going to say next if I'm a conservative? So anyway, I don't know if that made sense, but maybe I'll work it out better and put it into a more polished video later. But that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if anybody has any comments about that, but that's what I've been thinking about. And then of course, it wasn't just Dragon Quest 3 over the weekend. It was also all the stuff coming out with Ubisoft, which is such a wild situation with how much money they're losing, how I'm hearing that they're on the verge of bankruptcy. And Assassin's Creed Shadows plays a lot into that, and how, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed back to, it was supposed to come out, I guess, in November, or maybe October or November, and now it's getting pushed back over to February, which happens to be Black History Month. So who knows? But the thing about February is that for sure Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out in February, and there's one other big game that's coming out in February, and it's just kind of like, what are they trying to do? Yeah. So, and then of course, there's the news that the Star Wars is it Outlaws or something like that only sold 1 million copies when they were expecting it to sell 5 or something to that effect. So yeah, they lost a lot of money with that game, and it just seems like the pattern that you're seeing is that they aren't focusing on the customer base for one, right? But two, they're so focused on their ideology and their hiring according to an ideology, you know, that they can't even get good enough people to test their games out before they go out. You know what I mean? Like, so the quality of the game is starting to really suffer because they don't hire the best person for the job. They hire for some other equality kind of thing to make sure everybody, you know, has all the boxes are checked, right? So the lowest player numbers even in Rainbow Six currently, and low player numbers in the other shooter. Oh yeah, the COD clone, X Defiant? Is it X Defiant? Because I heard about that too. Like, the players just kind of dropped off of that game, and it's a lot because just because the quality just isn't there anymore. So. Yeah, and then the whole thing with Yasuke, like the having an African and American samurai in the samurai days and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I remember you playing that, Tofu. I think I watched you play it like on Discord or something like that. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, all the stuff's coming out about Assassin's Creed Shadows and how they're having a delay and whatever. So the Black Samurai, and then there's that one is so controversial on so many different levels because of like who Ubisoft originally the historian that it was like a historian at the University of Tokyo who was like I don't remember if he was British or if he was American, but he kind of spun up this whole story about how there being like a black samurai in the 1600s or whatever it was, or I don't know exactly, 1400s to 1600s or 1600s to 1800s, and they have this picture of this like really dark looking samurai character that like traveled through France or whatever. and so they said that he was an African American. You could tell he was an African American descendant of this particular Yasuke character from that were. Dude, I don't know what. I might have all the facts a little bit messed up, but it's just so wild that and a lot of Japanese people are like, what? Like, no, like, Japanese people actually have a lot of variety of physical appearance. Like, you can't just say, well, look the same. Something like that. So it's like reverse racism and shit like that. So yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. But I overheard these rumors too. I don't know if they're true or not, but originally Yasuke, the main character in Assassin's Creed Shadows, okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about. So two things relate to that. So yeah, the rumor you heard, Tofu, that's the one I heard too. Of they might scrap this character altogether and just make him Japanese again. But or something to that effect. But I heard that originally he was a Japanese character that they turned into a black character. And I don't know if this is true or not, but it's based on the fact that they saw that the George Floyd riots and the BLM riots and all, that whole thing, like, because it was really big at the time they were creating the game, dude. That was why they made him black in the first place, to appeal to the trend of the day, I guess, or something to that effect. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. If I remember right, I saw it on X from a YouTuber called Endymion. Endymion. I don't know if you've ever seen him or not, but yeah, I think his name is Endymion. I think he was the one who was getting like the leaks for that from like I think it was some developers from Ubisoft were like not whistleblowing, but but they were, I guess, not really whistleblowing, but what is it called? They're just leaking information about backstory about game development and stuff like that. But yeah, they changed him to a black samurai because of the BLM, the popularity of the BLM riots and stuff like that during. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's wild. So I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah. So yeah. And then of course the third major controversy over the weekend was the Ghost of Yotei kind of stuff. I think it was like end of last week into the weekend, so it's more of a last week, kind of end of last week, about how people all of a sudden at the end of the PlayStation 5 showcase, they have the reveal trailer for the new Ghost of Tsushima game, which doesn't end up being a Ghost of Tsushima game. It ends up being the Ghost of Yotei, a spiritual successor, right, Tofu? And so and then it turns out it's a female samurai, or female whatever. I don't know what. I don't know if she's a female samurai. I think that's kind of far-fetched. She should at least be a female assassin or something to that effect. Like a female ninja would be more believable to me. But female samurai, yeah, right. That's kind of goofy. So anyway, I remember when I was first watching the trailer, because I was watching it, I think I was watching on Asmongold's live stream, and when I was first watching the trailer, and I looked at how they were trying to be, like, she's wearing the mask, right? You don't know it's a male or female yet, but you're trying to decide, okay, is this gonna be Jen Sakai from the first game? But when you look at the kind of dress and the shape of the body, you're like, actually something looks a little off. It looks more narrow. Like the body frame looks a little bit more petite, you could say. And I was like, is it gonna be a female? And then they're kind of all the action and stuff, and then they kind of do the close up. First, I think it was like her hand first, and I was like, I think that's a female hand. And then it showed up to her face, and then sure enough, you could see through like the eye patch in the mask, or the eye hole in the mask in the mouth, that it was a female character. And I think finally remove it or whatever. And I was like, dude, I cringed so hard. I'm sorry if I cringed when I saw that, because I was like, they tried to make this kind of like, ooh, big reveal, like a Metroid kind of reveal or whatever, like, I mean, obviously not. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but they try to make this big reveal or whatever, as if like it being a female character was going to be a neat selling point. Like, ooh, ooh, you didn't expect that one, did you? And I'm just like, dude, no, we didn't want that. That's why we didn't expect it. We didn't want that. You know what I mean? We wanted Jen Sakai. We wanted a sequel to the original, right? So anyway, a lot of people were kind of going hard on it. And I was looking at, usually a lot of the kind of more anti-woke kind of YouTuber personalities were saying, I'm going to be slow. I'm not going to be all judging it, calling it woke, before it's, before we see any more like gameplay and stuff like that. But, so yeah, but when I saw it, I was like, nah, dude, they're being really cautious and stuff like that. But it definitely, the vibe, my gut intuition was, yeah, that they did this for a woke reason and not for a genuine game creator reason, right? And then what do we learn about the voice actress, who also turns out to be the motion capture actress for this new character? and it's just this Western, I guess you could say Americanized Japanese woman named Erika Yotei or something like that, and she's totally woke, bro. Totally woke. She has like all the trans support and all the homosexual support and all that kind of stuff, and she's like basically a woke activist on her X or on her Twitter feed and stuff like that, from what I understand. Got this shaved hair on the side right here and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, bruh. And sure enough, everybody knew, dude. Everybody knew. So with her in the in the driver's seat of this character, you could say, I wonder how much of a way, like how much influence is she gonna have over the game? Who knows? But you obviously have these game developers really considering, they picked this person for a reason. I don't know how else you could put it. Because if they wanted to steer clear of controversy, they wouldn't have chosen someone like this. They would, chosen someone a little bit less controversial. That's my opinion. But again, what do I know? Game developers, stuff like that. But as we're learning that it's not always the game company themselves. It's these regulative agencies or these compliance agencies, the compliance gods, the evil god who appears to be a good, doing goodness in the name of compliance. So anyway, those are kind of the main things I wanted to talk about. But speaking of the PlayStation 5 showcase, there was of course Monster Hunter Wild, or Monster Hunter Wilds, I should say. And when I was first watching the showcase, because I was watching on Asmongold's stream, I wasn't too impressed with the visuals. Like, the animation, everything looked good, but the visuals themselves didn't really like it. But then I went back and I watched like the actual PlayStation trailer for it. Like I watched it in 4K, and I saw it, dude, and yeah, the game looks really good. If it looks that good on a PlayStation, I know it's gonna look amazing on my PC. But just the variety, the freedom of movement. It seems like, from the games that I play, from Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate to Monster Hunter World, and then to Rise, and then to Wilds, it really seems like they're trying to really open up the movement, the ability to, like, the different ways that you can move in the game, because it seems really restricted back in the day. It was really focused on just like your fighting and stuff, but terrain traversal is kind of what I mean by movement and stuff like that, just really opening that up. And dude, it looks really cool. Like if they can so the part that I really am hoping Wilds will do well is co-op, dude. That way, Tofu, you'll finally actually play Monster Hunter with me. But no, if they can do the co-op even better, I think it would be so cool. I think it'd be so cool if they got co-op going immediately. And dude, if you could do the story co-op, whereas like in Monster Hunter World you couldn't do the story co-op unless there was a workaround where you could flare, SOS flare someone in, but I don't think that's the same, dude. Like I want to be there hunting, like hunting as a group or hunting as a pack right from the get-go of the story, like that would be super cool. And I think they added some good new moves to Greatsword, which is what I'm looking forward to, playing some more Greatsword. And then just the way that you can kind of go camping, it seems like I wonder like how much freer, like in the previous games, your home base was outside of the hunting area, and then in World, like, well, not that it was outside the hunting area, it was more just like a starting point, right? And then in World there was like several different hunting area, like starting points, all right? But if you could just like go out into the world and kind of like, you know, go on a hunt for several days. I don't know, in a more freeing way. I think that'd be super cool. But when I go back and play the old games, I realize how many different things that that Capcom tried to do with Monster Hunter to kind of introduce new aspects to it. Like even in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, the way they did expeditions and stuff like that. And then they kind of refined it in Monster Hunter World. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that game quite a bit. Comes out in February, so that'll be cool. Then the other day I played Gran Turismo 7 again because I have the steering wheel. And every time I just pop that game open, I start playing, especially now that I got the steering wheel, I'll easily sink 5 or 6 hours into it just like that. Like the time just flies when I play that game because, dude, I love Gran Turismo so much. But I go great stretches of time between playing it. Just because when I do play it, like I just like I OD it or something to that effect. But I even started watching some of the Gran Turismo on YouTube, the Gran Turismo TV channel, and they live stream some of the actual competitions. Because ever since I watched the movie last year when it came out last summer, 2023. I just like rekindled all my old love for Gran Turismo, and yeah, so I was like, oh dang, I didn't realize it was that involved, you know, from a competitive standpoint. But so I've been watching that and a little bit of that, and then mostly playing the game. And then I also tried to get back into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, trying to finish that game. But I don't know, dude. It's been hard to play games lately because, you know, still the old thing of not having a job or whatever. And I mean, I should get a job already. Don't call me out, all right? Cut me some slack. Don't call me out. But I just been playing games anyway, and just saying like, fuck it. Let me have a little bit of fun at least. So I've been trying to get back and finish, because I have several unfinished games that I've started. In Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was one of them. And dude, that game just looks so good on the, because I got a 4K screen over here, and with HDR. And dude, the game looks really good. I play at 4K 30, the graphics mode, and it looks really good. But what the downside to it is, like, there's just so many things to do in that game that I'm too OCD to like actually finish playing it. And I know that I want to finish everything. Like, there's like a mini game in there called Queen's Blood, which is like a card game, and it reminds me kind of Stratego a little bit, kind of like how in Final Fantasy Remake they had a game with characters, little figures that you move on a board. Remind me of an old board game called Stratego. But this is the card version of that. And dude, I really like that game. And I heard maybe a rumor that they might actually make it a standalone game. Square Enix might make it into a standalone game. It'd be cool if they could add a lot of depth to it. But yeah, so I really want to get back into playing Queen's Blood and stuff like that. But I remember, like, that would take me, like, I want to play all the duels that you can do. I'm calling it duels, like Yu-Gi-Oh. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling about it, but it's fun, but I'm like, dang, it takes so much time. You know what I'm trying to say? It takes a lot of time to go over everything, and when you start thinking too much about how much time is required, that's the part that really sucks all the fun out. Like, sometimes I wish I could just turn that part of my brain off and just enjoy the game. And I can do that for a little bit, but then I realize, oh god, I could hear the real world like knocking in the back of my head, and like like, bro, like, you got some responsibilities you got to take care of. Why aren't you doing it? Like, just one more round of King's Blood. Queen's Blood. But anyway. And then I still gotta play Dragon's Dogma 2 to finish that game, and I want to start with that. I think I'm like 75% through that game. But But one part of me that's been wondering is like, do I actually enjoy playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? It's like I think I do. But if I have to think about whether I enjoy it or not, ah, like when I think about RPGs nowadays, oh, because I'd also been playing Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Switch. I just picked it up and I tried to go back in and play the game. I even played it for on a stream like a week or two ago, probably 2 weeks ago now. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know if I want the JRPG right now. Like it was good for like the first 40 hours I was playing it, but I'm like, oh man, and I don't know. Especially when I see people playing like Black Myth Wukong or Stellar Blade, you know, or Elden Ring, more action RPG kind of thing. I'm like, dang it, like I kind of wish I was playing that. So that's why I was playing sorry, not Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter the other day. I was like, yeah, dude, this is fun. This is fun. Yeah, gaming news. That's all what I got going on right there. Let's see. Other than that, I got some videos we could watch, but I don't know if they're even gonna be interesting. Just stuff I have a bunch of tabs open. Could kind of see. Like I have one video. I'm a 29-year-old Japanese woman, unmarried, no kids, no 9 to 5. I'm like, relatable? Hashtag relatable? Are you single? Just kidding. I'm fucking dumb. Here, let me show you this. So I don't know what's she trying to do, but look how it opens up. Oh, look at this video. It's sponsored by Skillshare. All right, well, so she made it so that she could get this. Yeah, how many? She has 41K. I'm also 21. The only thing is I'm unemployed. Well, she is too. Oh no, but she's not technically unemployed if she has like Skillshare. She's kind of like contract work or whatever. So yeah, we can watch that. But well, what else do I have right here? Oh, this one I just finished watching. It was Asmongold video on I've been living like an animal for 13 years. So here's why. This one's actually super interesting. He kind of explains why he lives like this, because it's kind of a meme. And the reasons are... Oh, you watched this one? Yeah, dude, when you hear about his like life history and stuff like that, I'm like, bro has it kind of rough, huh? Let me move this over a little bit. Yeah, it's a strange video, especially with the way he talks about, you know, desire to game end himself back in his, you know, at the end of high school or whatever. And then he's like, but then some wild update came out and I started to play that instead and kind of forgot about the whole game ending bull. I'm like, what the heck? But anyway. But yeah, his struggles with this like family situation, the mom kind of having a lot of ailments, medical ailments and crazy stuff like that. And then so here's this one. This is the one that kind of related to what we just saw. They're fixing Yasuke. Ubisoft Insider leaks Assassin's Creed Shadows changes. This will save the game. Well, save that game, I guess. So since we were just talking about this, I think that's a interesting thing. Excuse me. In fact, I'm just gonna start watching it right now. All right, let's actually watch this one. So this is from Yellow Flash 2. I usually like to watch his videos in one. Well, actually, I watch it in 2 times because he talks kind of slow. But we'll do it one and a half just for, you know, for everybody else here.
We actually have more information on Assassin's Creed Shadows. Those developers
only 7%.
So we've got some more.
They only had
on some of the changes.
That's what is crazy, is that Assassin's Creed Shadows only had 7% of the pre-ordered numbers of Valhalla during the same time period. Wild. Like, what?
That they plan to make when it comes to Yusuke and how things are handled in the game. But let's just start here real quick to remind you why this game is in the position that it is. where they have to go and delay things. And that's because
Right.
they only had about 7%. The pre-order numbers.
So this is the real reason why they're delaying
during the
stuff,
same time period.
right?
It's not good. And I believe this because.
But why does it only have
several things line
7%?
up to suggest that it's likely true. And this comes from Endymion.
Yeah.
Craig,
So Endymion is the
Craig
main
from
guy.
Explorers podcast confirmed this when he talked about how out of 900 stores, they only had 800 pre-orders for the game. That's less than one pre-order per store. And this is a guy he knows that runs a big box retro game store. Or not retro games, but just a game store, but they obviously, because they're not GameStop, have games people want in the retro area. I know GameStop trying to get into that, but I would never buy a cartridge game from them because I would be afraid that they were going to sell a repro. Discs are probably fun. But if you also go down here, they have pictures of the top sellers on the PlayStation Store. And if you look down here, Assassin's Creed Shadows is selling less copies than Mortal Kombat 1 and Sonic.
This is like a ratings?
Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is selling.
Oh yeah, screenshot of PlayStation top pre-orders.
Ultimate Edition is up there, but it's not doing much better. Nobody's interested in this game, and that's all on Ubisoft. That's all on Ubisoft. But here are the changes. So somebody at Ubisoft reached out to Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming and went over some of the changes that they plan to make. So apparently these are the changes that are going to get people interested in this game.
All right, this is the interesting part right here.
Ubisoft has a lot riding on this game. I talked about that in the last video. Like, they're in bad shape, and if this game doesn't sell good, I don't know what's going to happen to them. Endymion is pretty confident that even no matter what happens with this game, they're in deep shit and likely going to still go bankrupt.
Dude, if Ubisoft goes bankrupt,
and probably guts
that's wild. Yeah, someone will buy it up.
Everybody's going to get gutted.
Xbox.
They're going to move teams around and absorb everything into, I would imagine, whatever they have set up already. Watch Microsoft come in and buy Ubisoft. Just end up laying a bunch of people off again.
Microsoft will do it, dude.
But here we go. Ubisoft is rumored to make significant changes to Assassin's Creed Shadows during the 3-month delay. The company announced and will specifically change Yusuke's story and how he's portrayed. Ubisoft officially delayed the game last week, announcing in a press release. Assassin's Creed Shadows will now be released on the 14th of February. So
the way he's presented and his role in the story? So I think there's also another character in there. What if they shifted over to her? I think they also added. They had to add like a bunch of more content to it, like subquests and things like that, because the rumor has it that they didn't actually have enough content to be able to charge what they're charging, something to that effect. I don't know.
The biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure. So according to Tom, polishing of the game includes changing some of Yusuke's story and how he's portrayed in the game, and fixing a lot of architectural details. The architectural details were like I heard rumors that it was like stuff from China, like they had Chinese architecture in a Japanese game and stuff like that. And they also had anachronistic stuff like I think it was like the what is it? Anyway, they had like I forgot what they're called, but you know those famous like archways, the Japanese archways? Well, they had one with just like one pole, right? And I guess that signifies something to do with World War II and the destruction that of like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, like the bombs. And so that's like the actual meaning, you know, that's the only time that broken like archway ever showed up, and they put it like anachronistically into this 18th century, 19th century game. Anyway. Now, they have a lot of problems there. And ensuring that the game is historically grounded. There you go. Historically grounded. So, that tells me one thing. They're probably going to go out and get, I don't know, real experts in Japan. Yeah. Instead of, I don't know, getting some weird SJW that's never lived in Japan to be a historical reference. Yeah. It's the dumbest shit. They got dollar store experts. Dollar store experts. Sex lady. She's like a professor of Japanese culture, but the main shit that she's an expert in is she's not even a Japanese. I mean, she's Japanese herself, but she's like Western based. We don't even need to get into that guy. Those were their experts. So I'm guessing now they probably went out and got real experts. That actually probably cost them a hell of a lot more money, because and the guy that was based in Japan probably got them on the cheap. Was a Western-born man. To make this game a lot more accurate. A white guy, dude. Henderson also added that the game is currently not at the stage it needs to be for release, and told that there have been some tweaks to some gameplay mechanics and elements that are going to take time to incorporate.
Not only did he reveal these changes,
Also, I mean, obviously a lot of stuff has to do with the backlash to the shoddy quality of Star Wars Outlaws. So seeing how badly that did, they're like, okay, we really got to make sure this game is polished up.
but he also shared that Ubisoft was not as dedicated to historical accuracy as multiple developers have claimed. Oh, you think?
Huh.
Yeah, this woman right here to the left.
Oh yeah, her right there.
Picture. That's the one that's like all she does is research like weird relation.
Look at her face, bro. She's just so like smug looking. Like, wow, man, you could just on their face. I mean, maybe I don't always have the nicest face either, but damn.
Yeah, here she is right here. This is her college page, and you can see it for yourself. She's interested in far left, far right stuff.
Oh, the far right, the far left, and beyond. Wait, what? Oh no, she just talked about. So I'm interested in literary and pictorial representations of gender, sexuality, and class. So she's a Marxist. In pre-17th century Japanese narratives, as well as analyzing the modern meta-narratives thereof. My first book, Tales of Idolized Boys, Male Love in Medieval Japanese Narrative. What? Came out during the pandemic, I wonder why. Is on medieval Chigo Monogatari, Buddhist acolyte tales, which often depict romantic relationship between Buddhist priests and adolescent boys. Yo, what? These tales challenge a host of normative and moral standards that we, academics, non-academics, the far right, the far left, beyond, internalize, including such ideas as sexual orientation, transgenerational. Come on, bro. You're gonna say transgenerational sex and pretend like I don't know what you're talking about? And sexual agency? A detailed review? Okay, my gosh, dude. These people are at war with reality itself. Look how they put it. It's just, these are just normative and moral standards that we internalize. We've just internalized them. That's all they are. They're just internalizations. They're subjective. Like there's, meaning that we could internalize anything and be shifted, in any direction, pretty much. Crazy.
None of this shit has anything to do with Japan, which is funny. Sexual orientation, transgenerational.
That's nothing to do with Japan.
What is it about this profile screams? Let's get an expert that's.
It's just looking.
An expert for Japanese history.
Japanese history just happens to be the occasion to look at this stuff.
They screwed up there. This is them saying, "Oh wow, she's really into gender. She's the best person to be the historical, cultural."
Because it isn't about Japanese history; it's about
that's what they were thinking.
Her ideology.
And then, of course, the communists. That's why they grabbed him. People that are great about revising history, which is what communists love to do. So, yeah, this game is in deep shit, man. So,
yeah.
He says that they ignored historical concerns. He also indicated that Ubisoft management has ignored their own developers who've been calling for delays. Stated 7 developers working on the project said they have been pushing for a delay for some time, and their situation had even been heard at other studios in the company. So, yeah. So the
graphics look really good, though.
I don't think any of these changes are going to matter, to be honest. I think the damage is done.
Like, look how that actually looks really neat.
Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they'll have a redemption story. That could happen, too. And they actually managed to fix a lot of this shit and get the game out. Who knows? I just think Ubisoft is in a lot of trouble. And I don't even think if this game does well that they're saved. I have more information coming later on Star Wars Outlaws. That game is actually in worse shape than we thought. So look forward to that video, but let me know what you think about this one. What are your thoughts? Do you think they can actually fix this? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
All right, well, I'll give it a like. Just covering the news, just covering the news. Let's see. And then the other one that was interesting.
So apparently torrents have fallen off.
So we could watch something about torrents. I don't know anything about torrents. I'll just put it that way. Like, this is a Greek M. This isn't a U, this is an M. And I don't even know if it's trying to be a U. I'm just saying. It's a Greek M. Similar to them, English M. And then 33, what did I do? 33-year-old Japanese guy explains Japan won't change. Here's why that's a good thing. And we watched this guy's video a few streams ago about he was doing a reaction to what was he doing a reaction to? Really popular YouTube video from another Japanese creator. But anyway, Yeah, that was great, huh? So let's see. Maybe I'll watch this one next. Even though the torrent one is pretty interesting. This one's a little bit shorter. This one's a little bit longer, 35 minutes. So, all right. So, 33-year-old Japanese guy explains why Japan won't change, or he just states Japan won't change, and here's why that's a good thing. So let's see. This one, I'll do the playback speed a little bit faster, but I think I should also turn on. Oh, it's gonna be auto-generated, so hopefully we understand him.
Good morning, guys. As you probably know, that we have new prime minister in Japan. His name is Ishiba Shigeru.
Oh,
And I think he's decided.
okay. So from what I understand, last weekend or the weekend before, Japan actually had its major election, national election, and I forgot that it was happening, so I never followed up on who won or anything like that. But his name is what?
To do general election on October 27th. So let's talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I
So
think it's a smart
is
move
maybe
because in Japan, as a country, is declining so fast, right? So if he does general election now, I think he can stay in power for the next 4 years. And if he waits for, I don't know, 1 year or more, maybe 1 year, right? I think he will lose his support from
Okay.
people. Why? Because again, every day Japan gets worse. Every day, slowly.
I wonder
but
what his
surely.
politics are.
That's what I think. So if he does it now, his approving rate is okay. It's the best because it's initial stage, right? So I think his plan to do it now, and if he wins, he can stay in power for the next 4 years.
Okay.
And I think that's a good plan. And
So he
why
needs to
I
act
think
now or lose it.
LDP will win. The answer is
Liberal
yes.
Democratic Party.
Right? Guys, in Japan, it's not about LDP. It's about other parties, man. Other parties accept LDP, so they're not capable of running any country whatsoever, man. Maybe because LDP has been in power for like the past almost 70 years, right? Almost 80 years, 70 years.
So how are these other smaller parties okay? Do they have some kind of influence over LDP somehow? I wonder.
They were,
So they
there were a
often
couple
just work
exceptions,
together
right?
and try to lobby
few
it?
Years, some other parties were in power, mainly only LDP, right? So many people, including myself, when I think about, let's say, LDP losing, I'm afraid. Why? It's not about LDP. It's not. It's not like, hey, LDP, please come on. No, it's about other party. They're not capable of running anything.
Oh.
Experience. Right?
Which is very interesting. So he's saying that the Liberal Democratic Party in Japan is so entrenched and has been like the linchpin to the political system for so long. They have so much, years and years of experience being the head party that if they lose and some new party comes up, then that party is less like trustworthy, maybe has less experience. And so that change to the political, structure, I guess, is very nerve-wracking for many Japanese people, or at least for him. He's speaking for himself, but I think he says it's a lot of people think like this, which is, all we can think about here in the United States is change. We always want change.
Right? That's many people are, afraid of, and I think that's legit concern too.
Yeah.
And also,
Interesting.
when I see or listen to watch, speak other parties' leaders,
Yeah.
man, they're not good, man. They're not good.
Why?
And some people have, it's really like radical ideas,
Oh.
and they, I guess, want to change Japan.
Okay.
I don't think they're smart.
Okay. In what
They're
ways?
talking about kind of change that might break Japan. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm anti-change. No, I'm anti-changes that will break Japan.
Yeah.
So no good leaders are popping out. So that's why I think LDP will stay in power.
I'd be interested if he explains what he means by what kind of changes are these other political leaders proposing, and how will he change Japan? But how will it break Japan if that's the case? So I wonder what he would say.
I don't know how much margin they're gonna win with LDP, but they're gonna win, I think. And personally, all I'm asking from Japan's leader today is to do damage control here in Japan.
Damage control?
I'm not asking him, this case Ishiba Shigeru, to make Japan better. Why? Because I know that's impossible, man. That is impossible.
Yeah, right. He's kind of black pilled all this stuff.
Declining country, and if we can do damage control, if we can minimize the damage, that's good. So I will gradually accept slow decline, gradually declining. That's fine.
But it's already been like that since the bubble burst, from what I understand about Japan. Like, because the way that their monetary policy is, like the way they manage it, like they never have. Hey Olivia, how are you? Welcome to the stream. It seems like in Japan, they kind of stuck in a post bubble kind of world that it's hard to move on from. And I feel like, in a certain sense, I've heard talk about how they insulate themselves by having a lot of like kind of bureaucratic stuff when it comes to like their monetary policy, just so that they aren't too heavily influenced by foreign influence, you could say. But it seems like it seems like the whole world is kind of on a particular economic policy that's kind of going down the drain. And so I don't know, Japan, it's gonna hit everybody hard, so we'll see. I don't know what else is it gonna say.
That will give me time to maneuver around, do something, right?
Okay.
Have different plans, maybe leave Japan someday. Anything is on the table, right?
It's all the same, dude, if you leave.
Yeah, if somebody comes in, let's say Takashi Sanae or someone kind of have radical ideas, then Japan can break right away. That's a problem, right? That's a problem. So when it comes to investigate, I think most likely he's gonna stay with kind of safer path, and he's not gonna do anything crazy.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
He's not gonna rock the boat.
Good. That's good. Sometimes no change is better than crazy change, I think.
Yeah.
And this.
Okay, well, I want him to talk about actual policies.
Wherever, I guess, many Japanese complain about economy, right, in Japan.
Yeah.
It's not improving, but I'm like, of course it's not improving, because Japan's GDP is 80% domestic, right? And a lot of consumers in Japan, they're dying every day because they're too old, right? What's going to happen? How can we improve our GDP or economy when consumers are dying left and right? That is impossible. And that's why only way for Japan, I think, to get better is to be exporter again, right? Like in the 70s, 80s, right? And that's so difficult since many young Japanese people are getting worse and worse the English. So how can we, because they, of course,
Okay, so some of the other videos we watched, from like the Japan Reporter, it seemed like young people, because of the aging population, it's more than just them dying off, but also when the children of these aging parents come out of college and those kinds of things, like they are having to take care of their elderly parents, right? And it makes it hard for them to start their own family. And then compound that with how in Japan, more and more unstable jobs are on the rise, where basically the like temporary jobs or jobs that corporations hand out or companies hand out for only a certain amount of time, and so young people cannot always rely on it for an extended period of time, meaning that they don't have really a future to be able to build a new family and stuff like that. So basically, if you don't have more people coming in, meaning through birth, if you have the declining birth rate, so we'll see. That's the real reason why. And so the other thing about exporting goods and stuff like that, I seen a video a few years ago, for instance, even when it comes to computing and coding, and like it's actually very slow. Like Japanese, and he's talking, and this ties into his point about how less and less Japanese people are willing to learn English. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's what he's saying. But it actually comes down to the fact that coding a computer is reliant upon English, and English just the way you're able to type English into a keyboard is so much faster than it is to type kanji and to type hiragana and katakana, or to basically to type Japanese through a keyboard, because of the way that like typing in Japan is like way slower than it is for typing English. And that's just like a basic function thing that has nothing to do with anything except just the nature of, well, the origin of making, you know, program computer stuff like that was America, and then they adapted it. So that is actually a really fascinating thing that you don't really think about. It's just how difficult it is just to even type Japanese on a keyboard and how that affects productivity. So for instance, in Japan, the way they get around that is that being a computer programmer is actually not some wealthy, you know, or not wealthy. It's not some high-paying job like it is in the West, like in Canada or North America or whatever. And the reason why is because instead of just having a few dedicated programmers, they have to have a lot of different programmers and taking on smaller projects, like, and have a bigger team because of that. So they have to pay less, just because of how slow typing in Japanese and stuff like that, and how a lot of people aren't willing to learn English. So yeah, it has to do with, if Japan wants to keep up, it seems like they're going to have to, you know, learn English, but that's also going to affect them exporting things, you know, like they need to think about the target, right, markets that they're going to be making things for. And if they can't even type English fast, you know, or not English, Japanese. But the good thing is that, and it seems, so, you know, but a lot of Western people like myself are like, we're like really fascinated by Japan. So I think that's why maybe Japan kind of focuses on kind of being like a tourist kind of destination a lot lately. But that's not a long-term plan. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
Of course, we're kind of ditching Chinese market too, right? So it's not about learning Chinese now, right? So it's like when you think about it, so where is a good market? Maybe India?
Yeah, so you're thinking about what target?
Yeah, right, English.
Yeah,
India, and you know...
so it seems like no matter what market you're going to target, you're going to have to learn English, because that's going to be the bridge.
The States or Europe, you know, English, right? English. They don't study it. They don't know how to speak English. I just don't understand how this can get better. And also, many Japanese complain about cheap Japanese yen, but it's like when country becomes weak, the currency becomes weak too.
Yeah.
So I think, for me personally, I think cheap Japanese yen is fine and good. I'm trying to earn USD or Euro, anything but Japanese yen. So again, making Japanese yen is a joke now.
And the reason why is so that when he buys Japanese yen with the dollar, he can actually get more Japanese yen than if he were to go straight to yen. You know, that's why.
It's a joke.
Because of the conversion rate.
It's gonna get worse in the future. So that's what I think, man. In Japan, like as a country, like as a whole, it's not gonna get better. But as an individual, there are so many things people can do.
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, because, you know, people can do many things. People can better themselves studying anything. English, it doesn't have to be English, but you know what I mean, you know. And yeah, as one person, we can make our lives better. Sure. That is really possible. But as a country, as a whole, can we get richer as a country? Can we get better as a country? I think that kind of era is over in Japan.
Yeah.
Now it's all about individualism.
But that's the hardest you could say the hardest last obstacle, the final boss for Japan, because Japan is very anti-individual. They're very much communal based. So that's like going to be a huge thing. And honestly, I think I think he's on the right track with understanding that like the real change that needs to happen in Japan is a fundamental one, like more like a psychological outlook or like a cultural change in like the way they perceive themselves, psychologically, maybe morally. I don't know. Anyway,
it's up to one person, by one person. Can you do something? No, like. Because no one wants to be a leader, right?
In Japan at least. That's what I've heard.
Leader too. Look at what happened to Kishida, man. He was trying.
Yeah.
Was he a great leader? Maybe not.
He's the previous prime minister.
Did he do something great? Maybe not. But no one appreciates leadership in Japan.
That's why they're known. Even like Kojima and stuff like that criticize Japan, and or Hideaki Anno with like Godzilla and stuff like that. If you remember his 2015 Godzilla movie where he's depicting the Japanese government trying to figure out how they're going to address Godzilla showing up, right? This very real, visceral threat. And then all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, like nothing happens because they have to go and they have to get approval from this group, and this group has to get approval from that group, and that group has to get approval from this group, and they can't ever get anything done because there's all these different bureaucratic groups that are kind of like that they have to get approval, that everybody has to have a say, you know.
That's what I'm talking about, man. No one wants to be a leader. I don't want to be a leader because it's just stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, well, because nobody will get along with you.
Like for me, I want to better myself in any ways possible. I would inform myself about what's happening in Japan and different countries, in the States, Europe, whatever, India, even China. I want to know what's up, truly.
Yeah.
Because information is, currency. I think some people say that.
Yeah.
And many Japanese people, they get lots of misinformation from different countries. They believe it.
Yeah.
Speak English.
Probably from our
There you
country.
go. And,
One
I
of many.
think overall, I think Shigeru, what's better choice? Because again, I think he's experienced. He's not going to do anything crazy.
Okay.
I think he should rethink about Asian version of NATO. Sounds kind of crazy, right? But other than that, I think
Asian version. So is that something he's proposing to, like a coalition?
he's not going to do anything crazy. So that's good, because that's all I'm asking from today's leader. Thank you guys so much for watching. And see you guys in the next video.
All right. If anybody is interested in looking at that later, hold on. I'll just put it there. Well. So yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Japan, the whole world. There's crazy stuff happening all around the world nowadays. One thing after another. Could be interested in watching that, but what is everybody else thinking? Could do a little bit more to music. Let's see. Are you still there, Olivia? What is up? Things going well lately? I was going to show. Oh, so that particular video was a dude from Japan. One of the videos some dudes sometimes watch. He was just talking about recent Japanese elections and the political party that won, and his overall take was that so they have like I guess a major, it's kind of like a single party kind of deal. They have multiple parties in Japan, but there's like one main political party called the LDP party, which is a liberal democratic party. And he said it's been like the main political party in Japan since for 60-70 years. And so the I guess the candidate from them won to become prime minister, but I wasn't too clear. I guess there's like one more round of voting, so he might have to be it. But he was just basically giving his reaction to that kind of change in political, and he's trying to say that he doesn't really trust any other of the smaller political parties to, I guess, come into power, because he feels like they don't have the same experience that the Liberal Democratic Party has. So he feels like if things just stay the status quo, that'll be the best, for now. He doesn't want anything to have too big of a change, or any political party to make too big of a change. And I was kind of interested in I find it interesting like how in the United States, that's all we can talk about right now is we want change right now, I mean, a lot of people do. Half the country does, you could say. Yeah. Just some. So I find like Japanese political situation kind of interesting, just because they're so different than us, you know, culturally. Like we watched a video in my last stream about how they, how like more than half of the youth, or I think it's even greater than that, more than half the population of Japan like they don't believe in voting anymore, and but then, you know, if you don't believe in voting, it doesn't really change anything. And how because like most of the youth doesn't pay attention because they feel like the government doesn't really listen to them, most of the politicians, I guess, appeal or they make their policies around the older generation, because the older generation is the one that has most of the money, I guess, and so younger people feel like they don't even have a say in it and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of learning about it and figuring it out. One day it would be so cool to visit, though. Like, for instance, sometimes I watch these videos in the background. Let me see if I can show it. Whoa. It's so weird how wide it looks right here. Let's see. Videos like this are interesting because they're just like taking a walk in Japan. Okay. But yeah. And then, so Olivia, did you happen to watch vice presidential debate tonight? Talked about that a little earlier. And then, then we just talked about some gaming news and political ideologies in gaming. How the woke side of things is kind of hampering the enjoyment of games nowadays, quality of games. Nice. JD Vance actually did really well, and overall there's the temperament of the debate was like way more congenial, way more peaceful than, you know, stuff that Trump and Kamala or Trump and Biden have been engaged in. And in a certain sense, it was kind of boring, but it was refreshingly boring. You know, like it was. There are actually some wholesome moments, you could say, but it's still a debate. So, but yeah, you're probably gonna see a lot of good clips. JD Vance, like I think, like even CNN was saying like how good JD Vance did. So, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to think JD Vance is only 40, but the way he conducts himself, like I think the vice presidential debate was definitely a great opportunity for him to show the kind of person that he is. And yeah, like he actually got along well with Tim Walz. So, you know, despite calling him out on certain things, and you know, you gotta call each other out in debate. But yeah, it was just. And I think overall, Trump knew what he was doing when he chose that guy. He did, and you could easily see about just how well spoken he is. Yeah, he's gonna be presidential candidate one day. There's so many cats in Japan. I'm subscribed to this one video. I only watch it, or this one channel. I only watch it a few videos every now and then, but it's really just this dude that walks around and. Yo, okay, all right, move on. What are we watching right there? Oh, basically, this one channel just looks at all the different cats around Japan. So he just go different. He kind of do like kind of like this, but then he'll go to the docks or walk through a park, and then he'll meet the cats and just interact with the cats. It's just kind of a weird kind of thing. But yeah, I have a lot of kitty cats in Japan. Yeah, a friend of mine went to Japan in July, at the end of July, and He was there for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he had a really good time. But this is the kind of stuff he did. He literally just took a lot of walks. He just hung out in coffee shops. Didn't do anything too touristy. In fact, he kind of stayed away from touristy areas. It just kind of went into these kind of areas where it's just, what is it, everyday Japanese person kind of lived through and stuff like that. And he just kind of visited cafes and walked through through these kind of like small towns and stuff like that. And he really enjoyed it. So one day that's what I'm gonna do. Another channel I watch sometimes, I think I mentioned it in my last stream, but one channel looks at micro apartments that are for sale or for rent in just all around Japan. And so, in fact, we could probably watch one of his videos. I'll try to pull one up. But it's super interesting, like what you can get for like under $500 a month. Like, yeah, it's like a really small, pretty much like what I got right now, but sometimes even smaller. For like $500 a month, this little micro apartment, and it's usually in places like, I guess any of these. I don't even know if these are. I think these are more like apartments. Like, yeah, like this building on the right over here. That looks like a house. But this one on the corner, this white one on the right, or maybe even the blue one on the left. Just apartments. But yeah. I'm gonna try to find a. It's called A Micro Apartment Life. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna bring this over. So, I'm going to pause this one. And then we're going to look for oh wait. What? Holy moly. Sorry about that. Alrighty, Olivia, have a good night. Enjoy the debate. What's his name again? Yusuke? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Usui, that's what it is. This guy, look at this. Just look at this crazy apartment. He has his sink with a little electronic stove. Literally right there is the washing machine, which is kind of cool to have it right in there, but I don't know. His bathroom, shower. Literally his little ginkan, I think. Door. It's so small. Small little desk. But there's something kind of neat about it. It's like the tiny home movement, except they're tiny apartments. He always brings Spider-Man along with him. Some of the local floral varieties of flowers. Pretty neat. Boom. Actually, this one's a little bit... Oh, wait, this one's very narrow. Yo, what? I was going to say, it looks a little bit bigger than some of the other ones, but it's just really long. It's like a modern take on Kiyomacha. It's a water heater or what? Or what is that? Very small entrance. Oh, do you put the washer right there? Is that what these little stands are? Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Because, yeah, here's the water pipe. Yeah, they don't use dryers in Japan. Only the washers. They hang dry everything. That's so wild. This is the shoebox. Honestly, that's actually a lot bigger than some of the ones in the other apartments I've seen. Such a more friendly design compared to the ones that I've seen in America, where there's like these metal boxes for the circuit breakers. He put too many things in the entrance? Oh, okay. Well, at least once you move on from that room, you're done. You're done. You know? It's very small. It's very shallow, I should say. Maybe not. I think it is. Mine are pretty shallow. Is this a door? To what? Oh. That's it. Oh, just because it's just saying that just because it opens so wide or what? Hmm. Honestly, I think it's fine. I'm chilling with that. Holy. Intercom. Control panel for the dryer. Oh, for the dryer inside the shower. That's the closest they get to a dryer. Dude. It just does not look like a comfortable place to take a you know? Yeah, they got that bidet status in Japan. He's gonna say no storage for toilet paper. He has this like little gimmick in all his videos. Like, do they have storage for toilet paper? You have a bidet though. Well, I guess you still need to dry off afterwards, you know. Shower and tub. And it's like a... Yeah, in Japan sometimes they do weird things where they even the toilet is in the same spot as this. This one at least has kind of like a door that separates it, but it's more of a more recent kind of... Yeah, here's a dryer. And they always hang clothes in there. Yeah. I don't know. I guess if you don't have a balcony, that's how you'd have to do it. I just always, when I see this stuff, I'm just like, how is the ventilation really? I mean, yeah, you got the vent right there, but it's like way at the other end, you know? There's the fresh air. Yeah, I would just drive my stuff by there. Yes. Oh, they got a sink and then a sink again? Yeah, it's just kind of a small sink, but... IH infrared? Infra something? A very shallow cupboard. Interesting. It's a weird... I saw this one weird one where they had a storage in the walkway right here. You would step over it and you could like lift the door right here. You lift the door and then put food underneath the ground, basically. I don't know if it was refrigerated or not, but it looked like it could be refrigerated. That's a ingenious way. Yeah, you know what? This is probably for toiletry, you know, like hygiene, and then the other one is for kitchen. So they just separate it because some, you know, a lot of people actually like to have that separate. Me, I have the same in my bathroom, to be honest. Yeah, see, this is the kitchen one. The other one's the hygiene one. You shave and brush your teeth here, and you only do food stuff in the other one. It's not that hard. Living room. So narrow. But look at, was it larger at one point and then whoever made this place just divided it? Because that's kind of strange the way that looks. Look at this on the right. Like, what is that? This looks like they... I don't know. It looks like this is an artificial wall. I guess you could hang like clothing right there or what? View's not horrible. You can put a curtain on this window. A double curtain. That's narrow, yo. This is so that your doors will shut, or they won't get sucked shut, or something like that. It's to help, yeah, it's for airflow. Long story short. Okay. How much space is out here? I just imagine drinking coffee and reading a book out there. But what is this? Can you lift this up and, like, get down? It's always so weird to see all the wires and stuff. Can you drop down the balcony? Like, what is that? Like a fire escape? Yeah, I'd be using that outside. Oh yeah, it is an emergency ladder. I wonder if he'll sometimes he shows how to use it. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, okay. So it's all contained in there. I was wondering, what does it look like on the bottom? But I guess because it's all contained in that box, when you open the box, it probably opens both ends, or you open one, open the other, and then drop the ladder down. It's a collapsible ladder. Let's see. How would I arrange your furniture? I put a desk and along the right. So I'd put everything on one side or the other. Like a desk and a bed on one side. or on the other side. But it looks like this side right here, opposite the window. Of course you put a washing machine there. Oh yeah, the refrigerator. Where does that go? Okay, I don't know if I put it on the same side though. Bookshelf? Opposite? Okay. Chair. Put the desk right next to the refrigerator? I guess so. Yeah, this is definitely the side. And a bed right there. See, I use a Japanese style futon that I could fold up. I would definitely use it in this. Some people just straight for that Western style bed. Yeah, that's actually the best way, to be honest. Sazazuka. 5 minutes by train from Suzuka Station to Shinjuku Station. It's a very convenient area. I'm pretty sure I saw that cross street in Steins Gate one time. So how much is the monthly rent? That's always the best part. $100. Oh, that's actually 7. Yeah. Oh, so that one's. It's definitely $724. I mean, it's still much cheaper, but some of the ones you see on here are like $500. But overall, I think it's all right. I think it'd be nice. I could get used to it. Definitely has more space than some of the other ones I've seen. But yeah, he has a whole bunch of these on his channel. I'll link the video to this. Give it a like, of course. If you want to see more micro apartments, oh, let me do this one. Just subscribe to the channel. If you want to see this video or his channel, you can click the link there. But yeah, so here's some other ones. It was 67. Cool. See, what are other people? Not at all practical. The placement of the washing machine and the extra sink is just wasting valuable space. I don't know. I think I like having one sink for kitchen stuff and one sink for bathroom stuff. That makes sense to me. I don't know. I don't think the washer location. Yeah, I was kind of thrown off by the washer location, but honestly, it's not that bad. Wait. Oh no. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about the washer, okay, never mind. I was thinking about the refrigerator. That's why. Definitely, a washer is definitely weird because it goes over. It goes over the. Let's see. Will it show it right here? Because of look how it goes. Look how it goes over. You know. Bruh. Look at the door. Like how it covers the door. Let's see. Will it? Look how it covers the door right there. Oh my gosh. Bro, did you just show for like a split second or what? There we go. Oh man, dude. Trust me, like I have mine. I have like, I don't know if you can see. Right there, I have a desk. I have a desk right by my door. And that's like not the best setup because when you're that crowded coming into your door, like I don't know, dude. It's just awkward to have to, like, if you're carrying something big, like groceries coming in, or because I usually have like a box that I have. If you're like carrying groceries coming in, you have to like walk all the way backwards like that, or walk forwards, you know. And I have like a fly net kind of screen on the front of my door, so I kind of like a curtain. So I always have to go backwards through it. Anyway, it's just kind of awkward to be. So that's even like a narrower space. So yeah, that's definitely a complaint. I don't know anything about Japanese fire codes, but I think having a washing machine blocking a quarter of the or a third of the inch would break code pretty much anywhere else. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I like having the vanity sink separate. Yeah, I forgot about that. But see, you don't have to have a washer. That's the other thing. It's like you could probably just get rid of this. But the thing is, if you don't have a washer, then you have to go down to laundromat. So, yeah, I don't know what would be better. It would depend. Yeah, the price is higher, but location. Yep, that's pretty much. Yeah, I didn't like the paint spattered wall. I don't know if you guys saw that too. Let's see. It's right here on the right, or now right here on the left. You can see this is it. Watch. Okay, right here, right here, right here. Yo. Right here. This, it's like a paint spattered wall on the left right here. It's kind of awkward. Awkwardly designed. Like it looks like it's unfinished. But yeah, is that internet? Anyway. The fact that the laundry hanger is on the top right of the AC. The bucket reminds me, yeah. Anyway. It's about Harris is around school. I think I actually might just cut the stream there. Oh, dude, was I even not even showing you guys? Okay. I don't even think. Can you guys even see this on here? I think I wasn't even showing you guys. Damn. Oh my gosh. Whatever. Whatever. Too late now. Well, unless there's any kind of anything anybody wants to talk about before I go, I will just go. But let's see. In the next live stream coming up in a few days, I will probably be playing Monster Hunter World. And I'm also thinking of maybe streaming my gameplay of Final Fantasy Rebirth, even though I don't think, well, I mean, nobody really watches right now either, so what am I what am I saying? What does it matter what I play, you know? So yeah, I'm probably gonna play either one of those, but yeah, I kind of want to finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and play Monster Hunter World. Those are the two. So going into the weekend, plus Halloween, it's Spooktober, right? Spooktober. Gotta play some horror games. Played one so far. That was not really Spooktober. That was end of September. And so, and that was the convenience store. So that was one of those Chillin, those Japanese horror games, those Chillin Japanese games. So play some of those. And then what else? Yeah. Other than that, I want to keep talking about kind of like some of the current gaming events, like I did earlier today. But I was really like overthinking. I was really overthinking wanting to talk about all that stuff, and the part that I was overthinking was how prepared should I be? Like I kind of just winged it and kind of talked about it, right? But I didn't show any original tweets, or I didn't show the original video from like the Dragon Quest interview or whatever. I didn't show any of that, so. But maybe if I edit the video later or edit the segment out and put it into a video, I can just add that stuff in later. So, and then I still gotta upload the other videos from the previous live stream. I have to do a combination of the two. I have to do these live streams, and then I have to do the segments into videos because you know, not everybody watches the live stream. So especially if we talk about several different things, I'd like to get more people's feedback, so I need to separate them out into videos. But yeah, I need to also lighten up. So the other thing I've been overthinking is how am I going to present myself as a YouTuber or live streamer dude or whatever. Honestly, I can't overthink this stuff. I just gotta go with my gut and talk about what I feel like talking about, and if people like that, then they'll respond, and if they don't, I'll just keep talking until people respond, you know. But yeah, I feel like I'm talking about more or less what I'd like to talk about. I just want to get better at it, and also need to work on becoming a little bit more entertaining, or just figure out ways to create more engaging content. But whatever. Well, I think that's it for me so far for tonight. So I'm gonna try to stream again in a couple days. If not tomorrow, then in the next few days. Definitely by the weekend. Definitely by the weekend. And yeah, either Monster Hunter or Final Fantasy VII. So, all right. Well, if unless somebody has one last comment, that's gonna be it for your friendly neighborhood SteubeMan. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you guys in the next live stream. If you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up or subscribe, whatever, and check it out. We'll see what happens. I got some other videos if you want to watch those, so you can check that out. If that is it, I hope you guys had a good time, and we'll see you guys in the next video, in the next live stream. Bye. Oh, I hit stop recording, not stop streaming. That's kind of funny. All right, this is the official. Goodbye.